So we're gonna be doing something, I guess, kind of new on this channel, breaking into some heavier subject matter and also doing something I've never done before, which is responding to a video that came along in my suggested YouTube video feed talking about sex. And a couple reasons why I want to make this video. For one, because the video came across my feed and I kind of wanted to address the topic. And also, talking about sex, I recently wrote a paper for a class that I'm in, like a 7-page paper about sex. So it seems like a good time to talk about it. In the video that I want to kind of respond to, and when I mean respond, I'm not really going to address anything that the video said, just the topic of the video. And the video is by a guy named Kevin Garcia, who makes videos about Christian concepts. And the video he made was talking about how it is okay and even potentially good to have sex before marriage. And that's something I want to address because that was kind of the opposite of the topic of the paper that I just wrote, and it seems like something that should be addressed. And to preface, I am no biblical expert or Christian theological expert. These videos that I make are always just me as a follower of Christ, striving to live a life of holiness and doing my best to share and express whatever comes to my mind related to my journey and hopefully the journey of whoever is watching this. So let's dive in. The prevailing thought is, and what I have always been taught and understood, that it is not okay to have sex outside of marriage. And the reason for that is that the sexual act is tied to the covenant and the sacrament of marriage, because the sexual act, along with marriage, has a primary end of procreation and a secondary end of union of the spouses. So first, procreation, generating offspring. The sexual act is a profound thing that through it has the ability to generate new life, which is an amazing, amazing thing, and really is the nature of the act. So if you are taking part in sex for some reason or inhibition towards the procreation or the generation of offspring, that violates the nature of the act. And that is the primary end for the sexual act. The secondary end being the union of the two people, which I think people often think is the primary reason for engaging in sex, and that's just not the case. However, it is important, but it is very important in the sense that it unites the two in such a profound way that it is an act of self-giving love that should be bound to a marriage covenant. If there aren't vows said between the two people engaging in the sexual act, saying that they will love each other till death do them part in sickness and health and all that stuff, what are you actually saying? There should be some depth of meaning within that act that there just can't be if there isn't some covenant. Because taking part in the sexual act is a renewal of the marriage covenant. And if there isn't a marriage covenant between the two parties, then there is no covenant to renew within the act. So to that extent, engaging in sex outside of marriage is almost a lie, because there is no covenant to be renewed in that act, and there is no meaning to the engagement of the activity. So that's my 2 cents. That is why sex outside of marriage is not what it's intended for. Because sex is a good and beautiful thing, but it is meant for the sacrament of marriage. That's my response. That's my thoughts. If you disagree, let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to talk about it, because I talked about it for 7 pages in a paper that I just wrote the other day. Take care.